Hello and welcome. You're watching Business Today Television. I'm Sakshi Batra with me, Shel Patnagar, and this is Market Today, a show where we'll help you understand the closing action on the D Street. Well, not looking good as far as the Nifty is concerned. It's now 140 points lower in trade at 24,161 for the Nifty. We've slipped half odd percent lower in trade. What's holding up is the Nifty Bank, about 1/10% higher in trade right now. Along with it, we also have the Pharma, the financial services sector, autos, and the mid caps that are still holding up into the green. The rest of the markets have actually slipped back. Now, when we look at the India VIX, that's hovering around 16.6 levels. That's a 2.7% uptick right now. Within the Nifty, what's buzzing is the insurance-based stocks like HDFC Life. You have Tata Motors, you have HDFC Bank, some of the pharma names like Cipla and Dr. Reddy's that are also buzzing in trade along with Bharti Airtel. Good afternoon to all our viewers and good afternoon, Shel.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's the weekly expiry of the Nifty. For the moment, a 200-point trading range for the index that has slipped fairly dramatically over the last 5 odd trading sessions. It's given up about 700 points back to the market, but everything is cool and calm. You don't see heavy selling pressure, and wherever you see very heavy volumes or good volumes, those counters are in the green. The first example, HDFC Bank, 1.2% higher, and at the moment about 2100 crores worth of transactions have been done. This is the highest traded counter in the NSE 500. So you can well imagine that if there is a modest volume and a mild red tick on weekly expiry day, we are basically getting into time value of options and just eating that. Tata Motors is the second top traded counter, 2% higher, 1047. 1700 crores worth of transactions that have happened. So these two are positive, and then comes of course Suzlon. Circuit up 5%. The company purchased a smaller rival, 73 rupees for you, and about 1350 crores worth of transactions have happened. Apart from that, there is fairly active volume based buying happening in earnings companies such as Lakshmi Chemicals, 5% higher, 270. Very strong volume show. This is again after first quarter earnings were declared. So about 1 crore 28 lakh shares have been traded, which is 9 times the volume. Ditto for Chemplast Samnar. The counter is down 5%, and that's mainly because of earnings that were not appreciated by the market. In terms of top gainers on NSE 500, it's Bombay Stock Exchange. A very strong set of quarterly earnings coming. The counter has maintained its 8% uptick ever since morning, 2600 for you. And apart from that, you have Gujarat Pipavav Port based on first quarter earnings, which is also up 5%. What's making a reversal is Poonawalla Fincorp, 5% higher at 367. Fairly strong moves coming in on the Nifty Bank as well. Remember, it was weekly expiry yesterday for Nifty Bank when it was in the red, and Nifty rose. Today it's the weekly expiry of the Nifty. It is in the red, and it's Bank Nifty's turn to sort of help the main index. So far we have Mr. Kunal Rambhir, founder of the Streets, joining us to take a technical check on the market. Good afternoon to you, Kunal. A very warm welcome. Two stocks or two stock futures you think which are likely to outperform broader markets?
Thank you so much, Shel sir. Thank you so much, Sakshi, for having me on the show. Good afternoon to everyone. So as rightly mentioned by you, sir, I think the Bank Nifty and Nifty have made some kind of consolidation, and the trend still remains positive. And so my view is certainly on the bullish side of the market. Stock specific, I'm looking at a couple of counters which are doing phenomenally good specifically the results session. The first is the Cocoa Camlin. Just have a look at the quarterly numbers. They are really good. Yesterday it made low of around 158, and right now it's trading at 173. I think this bounce was taken right from the support level and the breakout level of 160. I think with the cup and handle formation, one can expect the target of around 185, 190 in the short term. Positionally, one can expect the target of 225 with the stop loss of 160. The second counter which I like the most at this time is BSE, Bombay Stock Exchange. As you just mentioned, right after the earnings announcement, the stock is doing good. Falling expanding wedge breakout is already seen on the chart. if the counter manages to cross above the day's high, which is placed at around 2650, 57, I guess. So once that's taken out, I think the room till 3000 levels are open. One can initiate a buy with the stop loss of 2500. So these are the two best picks as of now in this bleeding market right now.
Good afternoon to you, Kunal, and thank you so much for taking the time out for us. I wanted to discuss with you the insurance space again that's buzzing. We have stocks like HDFC, SBI Life that are passing in trade. What would you do here and advise within the entire insurance pack? Where do you find better charts?
See, I'm very comfortable with LIC, and I think we discussed this counter, a couple of weeks back when this counter was giving the first breakout is around 1050, 1070. There was a breakout, counter went up to almost 1200 levels. It retested 1080, which was the precise breakout level a day before yesterday, and today it's up in trade and it's trading at around 1140. So this entire formation on the chart is very clearly an ascending triangle retesting. So with the stop loss of 1080, I think one can comfortably initiate buy on LIC, and the targets can be 1250 to 1300. Now this is that particular trending counter which we always waited for the trade to happen, so that on every decline one can initiate a buy. So yeah, it's a positional play. Rather than keeping the target, just maintain the stop loss and keep trailing the stop loss. I think there is a long way to come on LIC.
Got it. Let's also welcome on board our other guests now. We also have Nilesh Jain, AVP Technical Research at Centrum Broking now joining in. Welcome Nilesh, and thank you for taking the time out for us. You tell us, how are you looking at this extremely volatile set of the market and the trade that we are looking at unfolding in front of us on the expiry day and of course up until today as well? And what's the best strategy that one should have in this kind of market?
Very good afternoon to you, Sakshi. Good afternoon, everyone. So today, in fact, in previous 3-4 trading session, the Nifty is stuck in a very tight range. And the range is very clearly defined. The 50-day moving average, which is constantly providing support, which is placed at 23,900 odd levels. And on the upside might get restricted towards its 21 DMA that is placed at 24,500. So that's the 600-point trading range, and the approach should be buy on decline. If at all we see any dip towards 24,100 or maybe near about 24,000, that can be used as a buying opportunity, keeping stop loss below 23,900. Till the time Nifty doesn't break below 23,900, one should ideally stay put on the long side, keeping a strict stop loss of its 23,900 levels. On the other hand, Bank Nifty, after a long time, we have seen some amount of outperformance. And given the kind of strength that we are witnessing in HDFC Bank, I think from here, Bank Nifty may witness a strong pullback, and that pullback may extend towards 50,600 to 51,000. And the stop loss for the long position in the Bank Nifty can be placed below 49,800. So these are the spot levels. Even if you look at the India Week's volatility index, which is still a cause of concern, trading near about 17 levels, it needs to cool off below 15 for goods to regain the control. But as of now, given this kind of conditions, I think it is better to stay with the stock-specific action and sector-specific move rather than trading on index.
Right. Let's look at some of the winners that are being thrown up by data, and you can't argue with data. In this entire negativity, I am looking at stocks that are moving in the opposite direction, which is green, and are a part of FNO. Now here comes the most interesting part. Nilesh, this question is aimed at you. Look at the top 6, actually look at top 7, 10 outperformers on FNO in the August expiry. Out of the top 10, 7 are pharma companies, led by Lupin, now 7.8% higher in this expiry. Again, this is the cumulative gain that you've seen so far. Nilesh, what are the charts of Lupin telling you when you sort of bring that up? The other winners in the top 10 are Alchem Laboratories, 7.5% higher, Torrent Pharma, 5.3% higher, Ipca, 4.8%, Granules, 4% up, Syngene, 4% up, and of course Dr. Reddy's and Aurobindo Pharma up 3%. So actually out of the first 12, about 10-hour pharma stocks. Your view on Lupin at a record high, Nilesh?
All right. So overall, Nifty Pharma Index hit a new record high today, and given this kind of volatile market, it is better to stick to the defensive. So that is what certainly we are witnessing right now. So from past few weeks now, the Lupin is constantly forming a high top and high bottom formation. It is trading at 52-week high, and on the monthly time frame, if you see the Lupin structure, it looks like it has formed a big rounding bottom formation. And for the first time after 2015, it has given a good breakout on a monthly time frame chart as well. So it's a multi-year breakout candidate, and we can still expect another round of up move towards 2200 to 2300. So these are the position levels that we might see from August series point of view. So structure looks positive. Buy on decline should be the approach. 1980 should be the stop loss for the long position. If somebody is already holding the long, one can stay put, keep a trailing stop loss, and fresh buying can also be done on declines.
Okay. And coming to you, Kunal, any view that you would like to offer on Granules India? Again, record high, again, Pharma, and again doing very well based on quarterly numbers.
Absolutely, Shell sir. In fact, it's a trending counter, and the first breakout which we saw was on 3rd of June, where the counter gave the first all-time high breakout after a decent rally at around 475, 480 kind of levels. And since then, this counter is just making higher top, higher bottoms. In fact, in the last recent 1 month itself, if you look at the rally, it's been from 500 to 650, and it's unstoppable. So I would not really suggest a new entry at this level, because as we have been discussing multiple times in the past, let there be a bit of correction and then we initiate a buy with the immediate low as a stop loss. So but for now, I will avoid this counter. If someone is already holding, then with the stop loss of I think around 625, one can hold on. If someone has missed out the buzz, let's wait for a bit of correction. Probably we'll revisit at that time to initiate a buy. Because of unfavorable risk reward ratio at this time, we avoid this counter.
Okay, got it. Nilesh, let me bring you in on Tata Motors. Now 2% higher and trade at 1045. What's next for Tata Motors? If somebody wants to invest in the stock now, can one still go ahead and make an investment, fresh one?
Absolutely, Sakshi. So after a decline of previous 3-4 consecutive session from the levels of almost 1170, 1175, I think it has once again reached near its support zone. So one can go long at current level, keeping stop loss below 1010, because the risk and reward is looking favorable. And it looks like it may make an attempt to fill the recent gap that we have seen, which is placed at near about 1100 to 1140. So yes, one can go long at current level, keeping stop loss below 1010. Overall position structure for the Tata Motors also looks strong.
Okay, got it. Bring you in, since we are talking about autos, doesn't make sense really to take technical view, but MRF 5% higher in the F&O space. That's after the earnings, and it's trading at 1,42,600 odd rupees. So, but just wanted to take a view. Nevertheless, MRF, for those who may be looking at the stock, it's climbed up from about the low of 1,28,000 odd or so to 141 now. Huge volumes today after margins have beaten estimates, and despite profits slightly lower, 3% lower year on year, the stock has shot up. Revenue has jumped up 12 odd percent. Your sense?
Right, Sakshi. So MRF, in fact, today we have witnessed a huge surge in OI addition as well. So close to 13% fresh OI addition can be seen here. So good long build-up is happening, good price and volume breakout can be seen. And given this kind of move, I think there will be a follow-up move towards 14,500 to 14,800. And the structure for MRF also looks strong. Although the stop loss for the long is coming slightly on a deeper side, so better to wait for some meaningful correction to get into this particular stock from fresh addition point of view. So 13,700 should be the stop loss. And if somebody is, in fact, I doubt whether any retail participant would be holding this particular counter. But if somebody is already holding, then one can stay put, keeping trailing stop loss. The stock still has a potential to test that figure of 1,50,000.
Right, Nilesh, those people who hold MRF have absolutely no intention of exiting it. Trust me, there is the set of audience that is preventing the management from giving a stock split and bonus so that it remains completely unaffordable to the common retailer, and that's why those who are in it, which is institutions, have made it a point to ensure it becomes completely unaffordable to the retail audience. So what can be done? We take. In fact, Sakshi, even its options are active, but 3,000 rupees, 4,000 rupees is the difference between buy and sell. तो वहाँ कुछ हो नहीं पाता. Nevertheless, it's good to sort of see a 5% uptick on MRF. This is the amount which I originally looked at it about 10-15 years ago. The amount it has risen by today. So you can well imagine what the price was and what the price is. 9,000 rupees. So 5% of 1,40,000 is almost 7,500. That was the price at one point of time. Nevertheless, markets have an exciting way of making you feel foolish, and that's how it is. Let's look at some other interesting data. Where is profit booking happening? Okay, there was a phase when Cochin and Garden Reach were in the green, but no, they are now slipping back into the red. Cochin Shipyard is down 1.6%, 2,300 rupees 12. Garden Reach is down 4.5%, 2,085. What's in the green in this space? Well, there's no stopping Bharat Dynamics 1% higher, 14.15 for you. And what else is looking good in terms of the open interest gain, as also a rise in volume. Let me just give this data out for you. This should be very, very interesting. Let's go to futures and look at this one. Okay, now there is an MSCI rebalancing that's happening, and there's a chance that Idea Cellular will be gaining entry in this. That's why the counter is up 1% and the open interest is up 12.2%. MRF we've already marked. Sakshi, open interest on MRF is up 11%, so that's really good. What else? I think let's take a view on ABB. It's been a while, Kunal, since we've tracked this stock. Now back above 8,000 rupees, 2% uptick, and open interest is also high. What is your view on ABB?
See, again, Shell sir, if you look at the historical data from May 2024 so far, it's been sideways consolidating counter. In fact, good support was seen somewhere near 7,400, 7,300 zone, which it tested almost 3 times in this 2.5 month span. And now, on a very shorter term time frame, it's making a double bottom formation, and it's giving a breakout of that double bottom today. The breakout point is 8,050. In fact, today morning it went up to 8,150. It's right now trading at 8,025. By any chance, if it gives a closing above 8,050, then with the stop loss of 7,800, one can think of initiating a buy. It's a trending counter. It will take its own time, but I think the previous high of those 9,000 and even higher levels of 9,250 are very much likely. So with the breakout of 8,050 and the stop loss of 7,800, one can ride the rally from here on.
Okay.
This is again a record high, I think. Let me just check this as far as charts are concerned, and then disturb Nilesh on this one. Yes, record high on the daily charts, and 1484, 1% higher. And that's primarily because the entire pharma space is up. What's the pharma index doing? About 1% higher at 22,205. To you, Nilesh, Aurobindo Pharma.
Right, Sensor. So, as mentioned, overall pharma pack as a whole is looking strong, and Oro Pharma, even if you look at this particular counter, it has hit a new record high today, and the structure looks strong, and we can expect another round of up move towards 1,600 to 1,650, and any dip can still be used as a buying opportunity, keeping stop loss below 1,440. The structure for Oro Pharma also looks strong.
Okay. Any two stock ideas, Nilesh, that you are looking at from your own stable that you may have come to pick today for our viewers in this kind of market?
Yes, Sakshi. So, one stock specifically that Shalin sir just highlighted, that is Alchem. So, Alchem, this particular stock, in fact, if you look at the daily time frame chart, it has given a good breakout today with a good volume activity. So, the consolidation was of last 4 to 5 months. The structure now looks strong for 6,000 kind of level on the upside. So, that's the August series point of view. That's the target coming. And on immediate basis, the short-term target for this particular counter comes around 5800 to 5850. Stop loss can be placed below 5610, and Alchem could be one stock that can be bought at current level. Apart from that, ICICI Prudential Life, overall, all the insurance counters have witnessed good run-up recently. So this particular stock is looking positive on the chart with a OI addition of close to 7%. And technically as well, it looks like it is giving a breakout from a flag and pole kind of candlestick from flag and pole kind of a chart pattern. And the upside seems to be open for 760 to 775. Stop loss can be placed below 728.
Okay, got that. So we'll keep an eye out on Alchem and ICICI Prudential Life as the two stock ideas that Nilesh has just shared. Some more stocks within the broader markets that are pulling up in trade sharply higher. Many stocks, including Nika, I think that's the one that's ticking up now. FSN e-commerce, if we can pull up that stock. Today to see, no, it's 1.1% down in trade. Some of the stocks acting up in my software, I believe. Igrashi Motors is up. Shiva Mototech is up. So some of the auto ancillary stocks are actually buzzing in trade. Your own sense, Kunal, as far as some of the auto ancillary pack is concerned, where are you keeping your focus on today? Even Samvardhan Motherson after the earnings is buzzing, and the entire space seems to be throwing at some interesting names.
See, my eyes on Igarashi Motor, the only reason being it gave a first breakout at around 565 levels, and that breakout was precisely on 30th of July, and that was a consolidation curve formation breakout. After that, it retested that level, and now it's heading for all-time high. It's already reached the previous high, which we saw in August and September of last year. That's around 650 to 675 zone. Once it manages to cross that level, I think 120 to 130 points more to go on the upside. So the targets can be as high as 800 levels. So watch out for this counter, which is poised for a new rally from here, from the present level also.
2:54, ladies and gentlemen. We have 36 minutes left in calling down the curtains for this expiry. Let's just navigate into the Nifty and see where we've seen strong gains coming up and where have we seen profit booking happening over the past week. Okay, in terms of gains, as far as the Nifty is concerned, there are only 4 plus 4, 8 plus 1, 9 counters. Of them, Lever, ITC and Britannia are from the FMCG pack, and the rest are Pharma, Cipla, Sun Pharma and Dr. Reddy's. So you can well imagine what the market is trying to tell you, that money is being booked out from all high beta, all PSU stocks, and it is shifting dramatically into the FMCG and pharma space. What are the other stocks that are not a part of this list? Adani Enterprises, Bajaj Auto and Coal India. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the reason why we should check Adani Enterprises. Kunal, this is for you. A stock around its 200-day moving average, something that is below the all-time high when the Nifty was there on 3rd of June and shows signs of revival. What are the charts of Adani Enterprises telling you?
Shell sir, again, if we just focus on 2024 data itself, somewhere in the end of February, this counter made a high of 3350. From there, it came down, made a new high again on the exit poll date that was on 3rd June, and again it's back to the same level itself. So as of now, on the charts, we can clearly see the resistance of 3350 kind of levels, and on the lower side we have a strong support at around 2900. So it's within that particular consolidation zone itself. I'm very bullish on this stock right now. Only reason being, in this entire correction, it has not come down much. It is still maintaining the support level. But I think for a momentum trader, the best buying will be about 3350, where the trigger comes in. It's still far away from that level. So nonetheless, if someone wants to initiate a positional trade, I think near 2900 can be a good buying opportunity, or about 3350 can be a trigger for a quick gain and a short-term trade. So for now, I will avoid because it's in between. We'll wait for these two levels to come on screen.
Okay.
Wonderful. What else would I like to mark? This is an interesting stock that deserves your attention, and this is in the volume buzzing segment. Okay, let's look at Lakshmi Chemicals. This one is for you, Nilesh. What are the charts of Lakshmi Chemical telling you at 200 DMA? 269.
So Lakshmi Chemical, apart from that, even if you look at overall chemical space as a whole, we have witnessed a strong rebound within this space. Counters like Deepak Nitrate, Lakshmi, Aarti Industries, in fact, all these stocks are looking positive. Specifically, Lakshmi Chemical, if you look at this counter, it has been oscillating in a very tight range, and this consolidation is of last 1.5 to 2 years, almost 2 years now. And it has a major hurdle near about 300 levels. So we still need a decisive breakout above 300 to call it as a short-term bottom. But from current level, there are high possibility that this particular counter may test the levels of 290 to 295. So if somebody is already long in this particular counter, can keep a trail SL near about 252, and a fresh long at current level can be done, but buy in a staggered manner. Keep a stop loss below 250 or maybe 245. The stock has a potential to test 290 to 300 levels in the short term.
Okay, got that, Nilesh. The other space that's been garnering the attention for some while now is the building material space, especially the sanitary ware, tile makers, maybe the plywood makers as well. Some such stocks are actually buzzing. Today also we have a 3% uptick on Cera Sanitary, that's at 10,245 odd levels. Next we have Arkit Industries, we have Akzo Nobel, Century Plyboard, Somani Ceramics, a whole set that's been moving in trade. How would you look at this entire space? I'm talking about Cera Sanitary Ware. And the entire sanitary space, PCR. Nilesh, your own sense there?
So Sakshi, Cera Sanitary, in fact, this particular counter is looking very strong. Reason being, recently we saw a breakaway gap in this particular counter, and that gap area has acted as a very crucial and important support. The stock has already crossed its 10,000 figure, and it has also scaled to a new record high. So looking at the structure, I think one should have a positional view in this particular counter. Towards 10,700 to 11,000 kind of levels can be seen, and these are the conservative target. Aggressive targets come somewhere around 12,000 plus. So structure looks very strong, and the stop loss for the long should be placed somewhere around 9,700. So that's the breakout level with a gap up opening. So that should be the stop loss. And apart from this particular counter, Century Ply is another stock that is also looking positive, and we have witnessed a good double bottom kind of a pattern breakout in this particular counter. A follow-up move can be seen towards 745 to 760. Stop loss can be placed somewhere around 695.
Got it. Well, thank you so much, Nilesh, for getting us all of those stock ideas. Good to be with you in the first half an hour of the last closing trade on the trade today. Thank you so much, and we'll have you back very soon on Market Today and on Business Today Television. Kunal, your last word. Any key stock that you'd like to highlight that we have missed asking you probably?
So not really. We actually discussed everything, but yeah, at the same time, I'm little turning bullish on the companies like Solar. Again, that's the first counter which I would recommend here is the Borosil Renewables. Now, this counter is still within the consolidation itself. Good price action volume is seen on the chart. So I think with the stop loss of 485, this is available at near to the support itself. So with the stop loss of 485, one can think of investing in this counter, and that can be a positional play for the entire 1 or 1.5 month time. And the second is FDC post results. The counter is down, but it's available on the support. It's a trending counter. It's near to the support. 503 is the price. With the stop loss of I think around 490, one can again think of investing in this counter. The positional targets can be 550 to 575 levels.
Okay. Well, Kunal, we'll thank you also on that note for sharing those
Thank you so
wonderful
much.
stock ideas and insights on the markets with all our viewers. And viewers, it's now time to welcome our other guest on the show now. Vineet Polinchkar, the head of research at Ventura Securities, is now joining in. It's been quite a while, Vineet, since we had you on the closing trades and on our show as well. How have you assessed the markets thus far from the budget up until now that the RBI policy is now done and dusted? Another two major events out of the way, and in between the global turmoil, how that has impacted the markets. Your own sense? Are you on? Are you on mute by any chance,
We
Vinny?
had seen some.
Yeah, yeah, we can hear you now.
No, I've just back on air.
Yes.
So we've seen some sensational selling happen on June 4th, and then we've seen a stupendous rally. And and obviously after the Japanese rate cut, things have kind of come off. Uh, what we expect is that we have to consolidate on these uh, losses that have taken place. We expect that the situation will be sideways to down. August month looks bad because nothing is out of the woods. And although we have one or two of these actions, the Japanese rate cut being put in abeyance for the time being, what we are going to be seeing is that socio-political situations which are happening in our neighborhood are now getting into the mainstream. So geopolitical tensions, which are of a social nature and which we had never ever anticipated, is what we are facing. That can create a little bit jitters about the environment climate in India, and there could be some exodus of funds taking place if this were to get serious and out of hand. Because there are so many Bangladeshis who are having animal spirits and have lined up against our borders, that if this crowd turns into a mob and if their numbers get out of hand, it'll be very difficult to deal with them. And already the Bangladesh administration itself is unable to deal with them. So we have a human crisis on hand, and that can really put to question India's geopolitical stability, notwithstanding the fact that we internally are extremely peaceful. 3:30.
Good afternoon to you. Vineet, good afternoon to you. Share this side. That's a very somber and sober prognosis of what's happening in the subcontinent, and how could that impact the economic and capital market landscape in India. Point well taken, but it's people such as you on the research side who always have a ready list of stocks to buy into if price is correct. Would you sort of want to stick your neck out on what looks good in the medium term but is sort of embarrassingly high in terms of price, which means that the price is out of whack with reality, but the stock is good? Any 3 or 4 stocks that are on your radar in this space?
So, I think we like Paytm. We believe that the Paytm story is overdone on the negative side. The business is very much in place, and they've addressed all the significant things very decently, and we expect that the growth trajectory will play back. So this is one stock which looks good. Second one that we like is Deepak Fertilizers, where we've seen, uh, the price having shot up recently. But if you compare Deepak Chemicals and Deepak Fertilizers on the chemical side, valuations are still very, very suppressed. And where we have demerger of the three businesses, I think we will see some stupendous value unlocking happen. So these are a couple of stocks that immediately come to mind where I think that the price has run up and the fundamentals are yet to catch up.
And how about your take on Zomato? The company's come out with a very strong set of numbers. Of course, before this bedlam sort of engulfed us on the market, the price was in the vicinity of 280, 290. It's sort of tapered a bit. How are the valuations looking, and what's your thought on this one?
So I think we did some number crunching, and I was personally extremely optimistic about Zomato. But on the valuation side, we think that the price is the fundamentals are fully priced in. And while the story is significantly great, I think that we will see some sideways to profit correction take place. My call would be against market sentiment, but I do believe my spreadsheets, and I think that we could see some kind of shaving off of valuations take place so that the pricing is more reasonable, and and there is some thing left on the table where you can build for the future.
Got it. Vineet, it's been long since we also asked you on how should one look at the Adani Group stocks afresh. Have you looked at some of the earnings that have come in? Have you upgraded any stocks after the earnings? Your own sense on the entire group?
So we continue to remain positive on the group. Adani Enterprises is the one where there is significant incubated potential, and we will see that play out over the next few quarters, as the businesses get listed independently. So that is one story where we are quite optimistic. Having said that, we believe that it will guide it to the market dynamics of the short term, to short to medium term, until they do not announce a major demerger like the airports business being farmed out and listing separately. I think till then, this stock is going to be dancing in tune with our market sentiment. If we take the other stocks, I think Adani Ports has valued significantly. We had a value of around 1600. That seems to, we seem to be close to that. So, our view on this stock would be to hold or to book partial profits. But we are quite optimistic on the electrification space. So if we take Adani Green, we think that there's a good story going to unfold there. We like Adani Transmission also for a 15 to 20% upside in the next 18 to 24 months. And Adani Power, we believe that the stock is taking all valuation into stride. The cement boys, ACC and Ambuja, there the numbers were slightly discouraging, which came out. But we think that, going ahead, value catch-up will happen because a lot of capacities are coming on stream, and there are economies of scale also being built up by significant, efficiency measures being built in.
Makes a lot of sense right there. Point noted. Yes, Shel.
Continue, Sakshi. I'll just mark it a little later. No issues. Please continue.
Okay. The other space that I wanted your light on, Vineet, is of course the entire runaway sectors, defense, railways that we've discussed with you multiple times. What is the sense that you're getting now here? Is the market turning completely defensive? Should this be the space where one should be in a hurry to book out from at this point in time? Your sense?
I would have booked out yesterday in all the defense PSUs because we've seen the valuations have really run up. And you do any kind of math that you want to do, you'll always find that the valuations are absolutely, way above the fundamentals. So that is my take. And we've seen HCL. So HCL was in the range of 54 to 5700 for a very long time, and we are down 20% from that, and just in like 2 weeks. So I think HCL is going to be the bellwether for what is going to happen with the rest of the sector.
Fair point. I think there is always substantial merit in the argument that all defense counters have not only run up on technical charts, but they are very, very expensive when it comes to even the basic fundamentals that one would look at in terms of price to earnings, in terms of how order books are being managed. And of course, you've seen HCL get some bad publicity about the delivery schedule of the Tejas aircraft. One was supposed to be delivered by 31st March of 2024. We are sitting on 8th of August and there is absolutely no news. So with all that in mind and the excessive valuation plus the global sell-off, you see this pain point coming in. Let's mark Suzlon. The reason why I point out is that a single deal of 36 crores has happened for 49,54,000 shares at 73 rupees. And if you look at today's volume, it's somewhere like 1400 crore rupees compared with a 5-day volume of 980. So this is a stock that is headed higher because of the most recent acquisitive target that it has done. Would you have a view on this one, Vineet?
We are quite positive on the outlook for Suzlon because they have got a great market share in wind turbines. There is restricted competition, and the mix of solar versus wind, which are both renewable, is way too much inclined in favor of solar. So we think that there could be strong traction on this side, and the order flow that is coming through is great for this company. So I will continue to hold Suzlon, but not advocating any new buys from current levels.
Fair point. And the only thing that I want to mention on Suzlon in terms of the chart structure is that at current levels, this one is now at its highest since 2009. So 2009 would make it 10 plus 4 plus 1, a 15-year high on the charts, and that itself is quite a comeback that the stock has shown. 3:15 p.m. ladies and gentlemen, we are now at almost the lowest point of the day as far as Nifty is concerned, down 181 points. Remember, the GIFT Nifty did give us a suggestion that it would be down at 157 points in opening trades. Well, that did not happen, but as they say, jo likha hai wo hona hi hai. So almost near the day's low. The Nikkei has shut shop 1% down and the US futures are flat. So much of the action for tomorrow will be dependent on what Wall Street does and how Asia opens. But on weekly expiry day, the Nifty has given back 180 points, nothing to be worried about. It was up 300 points yesterday. So it's an even Stevens kind of a day with not much of volume. So it's passed off peacefully. Sakshi.
Some other interesting stocks where we can actually take Vineet's view is Trent, for instance, that's bounced back in trade today. Again, there is buzzword that it may be replacing LTI Mindtree probably in the Nifty 50 when the changes do happen probably next month. Are you looking at this stock favorably?
Definitely, see, the addressable market is so huge, and their, expansion plans are very, very aggressive. The Zudio brand is really stabilized and, becoming a large part of their overall spends, better than even West Side. So, keeping all these things in mind, I think that Trend has a very good growth story there. To add to that, if they're able to replicate their model globally, that will open up significant new avenues of growth. And being asset light, all you have to get is the fashion and the pricing right, and then you're in the game because the brand is also already well established, especially amongst the Indian diaspora globally.
Point very well taken. We'll keep an eye out on trend. 3.3% higher, 56.50 right now. That's been one of the buzzing stocks. Again, like I'm talking about the changes that might take place next month onwards on the NSE indices. PSU banks again could be in the limelight. As per Nuvama Alternative and Quantitative Research, they say that they believe Canara Bank looks set to dislodge Bandhan Bank from the Nifty Bank with effect from next month. And they've also indicated that Union Bank and Indian Overseas Bank, they may find coveted seats in the Nifty Next 50 or the Nifty Junior. What would you really say on the PSU banking space now?
So, PSU banking space has lagged the market ever since June 4th. Even in spite of a stupendous rally, it has been a massive underperformer. Even after giving great results, the stocks have really not added in terms of capitalization. And a lot of these banks are going to be coming out with IPOs, or follow-on offers. So, keeping this impending liquidity in mind, I think it is best to avoid this sector. If you want to be bullish on the BFSI space, I believe that the insurance sector offers more value and growth opportunities out here, and also the financialization space. So, rather than being insisting on PSU versus private banking as a whole, or maybe looking at the other small finance banks, I think we should look at the financial space as a whole, and maybe then look for pockets of opportunities there. And I believe that SBI Life offers great opportunities. I still think there's a 50% upside available there. With that kind of growth potential, I think why look at the entire banking sector with which has already run up and in the private sector side and lagging on the PSU side.
Well, that's a very, very bold call to take for a nifty stock that you have a 50% upside on this one. We already at a record high, and from here on you expect say a 2500 kind of a range on this one. We'll again add this to our list of deep value stocks that we keep on tracking. We need to remember on 5th of June the price of SBI Life was 1300 rupees, 1350, and just 2 months, exactly 2 months later, it's gone up by 33%. So that's quite a staggering gain, and even now you expect appreciation. Beneath the dying moments of trade today, and almost 90-95% of earnings are through as far as markets are concerned. Any standout stocks based simply on fantastic and brilliant set of numbers sort of beacon you for the next 2 or 3 quarters?
I think Deepak Fertilizers is a very promising story. I mentioned too about Paytm also. There is an impending IPO coming in NTPC. That will be NTPC Green, which will get listed going forward. So, I think all these 3 stocks that I've mentioned are some of my high conviction bets. And I believe that significant gains can be made in these stocks.
Okay, Deepak Fertilizers, just let me check the price here. We have 982 on the board today, and let's look at the 3-month chart. So almost near record highs, and fresh momentum, that's most likely. And my final point to you, Pharma has been an outperformer over the last 10 days. Record highs seen on all the 5-6 major stocks that all of us track: Reddy's, Sun, Cipla. 3 mid caps doing phenomenally well: Lupin, Natco, and of course Aurobindo Pharma. Your pick in the mid cap space in the pharma segment, which could be an outperformer?
I think Natco Pharma is very, very strongly recommended. I think we believe that stock can really surprise the markets, and we have high conviction in that idea. We also like Piramal Pharma.
Piramal Pharma.
So
Okay.
these stories.
Okay. So NTPC, SBI Life, Natco Pharma, Piramal Pharma, Deepak Fertilizers, these are the key conviction stocks that Vinit believes have a sharp upside even despite the kind of move in the markets that we've already seen. It's now only about looking for value in this current market. When the markets run up too fast, too sharply, and in a short period of time, the next leg will only be driven by such high value stocks, deep value stocks, and that's what Vinit also believes as of now. What else can we ask you? Vinit, how are you looking at the private sector banks? Then we did discuss the PSU banks, but private sector banks, HDFC has been gradually at a snail's pace, been moving. So has been ICICI and Axis. What is your own sense on the large cap private sector banks?
See, HDFC Bank has been the go-to, banks are considered safe. HDFC Bank was considered safest, right? But from a investor's point of view, there are a couple of things which, I find a little belittling of this great enterprise is the fact that, they're not able to get their business mix right. We've seen they've done an aggressive expansion plan on, branch expansion, but the deposits have not flown through properly. And, if you talk to any individual out there, I think the general opinion, and pardon me for my language, is that the service sucks. So, with this kind, why do I go to a bank? I go to a bank not only for safety of my funds, but also, for great service that is there, because that's what a bank offers. And with digitalization and ease of doing business and transferring my funds, I wouldn't want to get, I fear that, there could be an exodus from HDFC Bank, but, that would be kind of a long-term kind of thing happening. But, already people are moving out because, they don't get the desired services.
Point well taken there. 214 points lower in trade. We are at the low point of the day, viewers, 24,083. Vinit, tell me, as far as the benchmark index gains are concerned, do you think we have largely made that top above 25,010 and we're just going to be languishing in a range for the rest of the months, or will we have some more bouts of excitement and further higher highs that we can expect from here?
So, if one were, following the neo wave method of value finding, cycle studies, which is a very rare breed of Elliott wave analysis, it is what we have seen is somewhat of a fag end of a major rally that took place. Because, if you see the price band that was covered in the last 45 days till we hit 25,000, the price range was very, very small and, and very, very choppy moves that took place. These are typical signs of distribution that happen. And then after 25,000, we had a slam dunk, which took place over barely a couple of sessions. And, we have not really bounced there from the lows. So I believe that there is still more pain left before we kind of rally back. And my anticipation is that, the market will now want to rely purely on the uh, numbers that come out in the second half. And for that, I think till September 10, 12, we will see the market remain in a limbo.
Right. Thank you so much for your time, Vineet. As usual, you are in top form, but specifically for today, it's the super top form. Sakshi and I are wondering, what did you have for lunch?
Sabji roti, and not too many stocks.
For those who don't know, Vineet is also a very well-known cook, so that's the reason why I asked. So please, whenever you come on Business Today, we'll request our guests to keep you posted a day ahead. Have the same meal. You were in super top form today.
Thank you.
With that, Vineet, thank you so much for your time. We'll now wrap the markets. As Sakshi has already pointed out, it's the day's low for the Nifty, 210 points lower, 24,086. That's mainly on account of the weekly expiry that we are seeing. There isn't any pain at all when it comes to the broader markets. Fairly decent volumes on the green side. Again, the example being HDFC Bank, 1% higher, 2764 crores worth of transactions done. It's been used beautifully by people who decide the fate of intraday trading to balance the Nifty's weakness. Tata Motors 1.4% higher, 1040, 2000 crores worth of transactions they've done. Reliance is down 1.1%. And in terms of top losers, it's Infosys that's taken it on the chin. 54 rupees lower, down 3%. 1737. Weakness coming in to some extent on L&T, 88 rupees lower, 35.50. And of course, you have a red tick on Bajaj Finance, which has continued for a long while, 65.77. Both ITC and Lever have also done nothing much in trade. In terms of gainers on the Nifty, what needs to be looked at is definitely the pharma space. That's where money is going in. Cipla up 1%, 1570. Dr. Reddy's in the green, 69.39. And of course, HDFC Life 1.7% higher, 708. SBI Life 1.1% higher, 1706. SBI Life enters our Hall of Fame, which we keep a track on deep value stocks. We've mentioned, Vineet has mentioned 4 today: Deepak Nitrite, SBI Life, Paytm, my apologies, Deepak Fertilizers, Paytm, SBI Life, and of course NTPC. What else is buzzing in the market as far as trade is concerned? Let's look at the top gainers in the NSE 500. BSE, strong set of earnings. It's held it throughout the day, 8% higher, 25.89. Suzlon, Crisil, and Poonawalla FinCap. Sakshi, yours.
Right, we'll wrap it up at that. 24,100 in front of us, 197 points lower is where the screen has frozen. Only pharma, financial service and private banks as the key sectors, and media also, which are up into the green. And India Wix, that shut stop at 2.9% higher at 16.6 odd levels right here. We'll wrap it up at that, viewers. Many thanks for being with us, but do stay tuned on to Business Today Television as the markets and the news beyond the stock market hours will continue on your screens on Business Today.
Parmanandpur village in Araria has a new landmark, a bridge right in the middle of a field with no approach road. It was built under a rural work development project valued at around 3 crore rupees and included a 3-kilometer road as well.
ये पुल बनने से हम लोग बहुत खुश थे कि मैं रोड नहीं था, 1 किलोमीटर आगे पीछे रोड नहीं है। हम लोग सोचे कि रोड भी बन जाएगा, पुला पर जाने आने में दिक्कत हम लोग को नहीं होगा। हम लोग सोचे कि सर प्राइवेट जमीन पड़ता है, दोनों तरफ से हम लोग दे करके रोड बना देंगे। अभी तक ठेकेदार किसी को नहीं पूछा।
Questions are being raised on why the bridge was built if no land was available for road. The district authorities have stepped in after the video of the bridge went viral on social media.
समाचार के माध्यम से हम लोग के